Hello and welcome to Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I'm Mr. Randy and today we're doing another full review episode. If you're new to the channel, hello, welcome, come on in. All my return viewers, you know how we do, so let's do it to it. Glad to see y'all coming back. So today is going to be a full review of Ardnamurchan sounds good. We'll go with that. So it is a 52% alcohol by volume, 700 milliliter bottle. Well, we got a lot of talk about that 52. Distilled and bottled by the Ardnamurchan Distillery, unchilled, filtered, no color added. Much appreciated. See that? Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. All right. Finished in Madeira cask. Those are wine. There's a sort of saying I can't quite make it out. That's the coordinates. I got it. I picked it up a little slow on that one, but I got it. That's the coordinates, I believe, of the distillery. Take a look at the backside. Imported by Impex Beverages. I know them. South San Francisco. I try not to... I probably want to put something over it. It tries to latch onto it. We've got all that. We don't need that. Try not to latch onto that. But let's get this cork popped. It was very anticlimactic. You know what? I don't actually know. Could be a lizard. Is it on the bottle too? I think it was on the bottle. No. Nope. Did this have a box? Hold on a second. No, it did not have a box. So we're moving on. We're going to go ahead and have our pour here. All right. This was a suggestion from a viewer. And I should have took a little bit more time to go back and figure out which viewer. I haven't asked. So let me go ahead and ask that while we're here. If you suggest something to me in the comments or otherwhere, and you would like for me to do it, or you don't care, or you don't want me to point out your comment, your channel if you have one, chime in if you have that. And if you really don't want, any kind of, just like I said, yes, no, maybe, you don't care, chime in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about me putting some spotlight on the people who make suggestions or comments about the videos, the bottles, or whatever. So yeah, here we go. So I guess first things first, I do a 3-part series to my review process. Put you over there. Part 1, off the rip, get it home, crack it open, have my first pour, share my first impressions with you because that's what I do. Part 2, full review time. We drink it down halfway. Had a great time doing it. Put the cork back in it. Put it on the shelf for a week and a half because it's a Scotch. It's a whiskey. Whiskeys get a week and a half. Wines get 5 days. What's the other one? The cognacs and stuff. I'm thinking that those might not need as much time, but I do need to do a little bit more research in that section. But while it sits there and off gas, opens up, I go online, find out as much as I can. In this case, some pretty decent stuff. I'll come back, we'll talk about it, I'll score it and continue to drink it because part 3, final pour episode, thusly named, we're going to have the final pour in the glass, compare it to the first pour off the rip, and everything in between. Another thing we're going to get out of the way right away is Mr. Randy's handy dandy whiskey color scale. Yes, it needs to be updated. Yes, I need to get on it. Yes, so I do procrastinate sometimes. I'm probably going to put this Palo Cortado Sherry, and that's that. So now we got our pad ready to go. Hopefully it doesn't blink out on me. Gotcha. So on the nose, on the nose, it's definitely turned down a couple of notches. There's a bunch of subtlety. You're getting a lot of Madeira cask. The Madeira cask finish has smoothed it out. There's nothing. Let's go over a couple of points here where we got it out. So they claim they use bourbon barrels from 2018, ex-bourbon barrels. No elaboration on what it means, like Did they use them right out of 2018? Or were they emptied in 2018 and then they sat around and then, I don't know, as much of details as possible would make me better understand what's in the bottle. I'm sure you appreciate that too. 19,000 bottle batch. So on the website it claims that it was just under 19,000. So their bottle batch ran just under 19,000. So they, I guess, why bother? Just say 19,000. It's okay, fine. But here's something interesting. They claim that they took, I would say, there's a ratio of 60 to 40. So 60% is unpeated and 40% is peated. No much more elaboration on that as well either, and that interests me. I want to know, what does that mean? Like they split them, like if you had 100 barrels, 60 of them were unpeated while 40 of them were filled with peated. So they had two different versions of this. Now I know there's other offerings. Ardnamurchan Madeira. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. They have a mezcal finish. I saw that one was sitting right next to this one. And I do believe they have regular expressions or labelings, but we need to move on. So we'll get this on the palate first. Yeah, they said they used bourbon casks from the early 2018 and were filled with roughly 60 to 40% ratio of unpeated and peated. Then it was re-racked into Madeira casks for 2 years. These casks were vatted just prior to reaching 7 years old and bottled, yielding just under 19,000 bottles in this batch. The whiskey is made in batches. This means the product might sell out from time to time. And I absolutely love that business plan, not to just be massively producing stuff. There's not too many distilleries left that they do a certain batch, small batch, and it means it's limited. That's what small batch means. We've had issues of trying to define what small batch means. People say it doesn't mean anything. It actually does mean something, because it's not an unlimited thing, ongoing thing. They might make another batch at some point, but they'll make a batch, say there'll be a yearly, annually release or something of that nature. Not just a continuous production line making the same stuff exactly. So sometimes you'll get something a little better. Maybe it'll be a little, it's kind of like a single barrel, almost in a sense of it all. But they do small batches, which means there is an end. They do cap it and then bottle it, start over, or go wait till the next batching comes in. So is it a running total of 7 years on that numbers? I can't quite figure that out, but we need to move on. Get the second one. Naturally. At least it wasn't on the equipment. Yeah, we'll just swirl it. I'm just kind of out of sorts at the moment. Try to get you a good look at that glass. I clean the glass and my hands right before pressing record, so no fingerprint smear. See how beautiful, no finger. It has got some good viscosity. Transfers pretty well to the palate. A little oily on the mouthfeel. And then you get sort of that, it slides into that like sourness that you get from the wine. That Madeira cask will add a little bit of a deeper, rich, even more so riper red fruits. It's definitely more of a stewed red fruits. It's got sort of a nice sourness to it. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Pushing 10 minutes, I'm sorry. If you haven't subscribed to the channel as of yet, go ahead and do so while you're there. This content and much more coming soon. Much more changes as well. We got to get out there and start doing some distillery visits. But I paid $71.43 out the door for this. And like I said, it was a suggestion. You know who you are. If you're watching this, I'm pretty sure you're going to watch it because you're the one that told me about it. I found it. Had to do some legwork over it. But it was worth it. It's definitely worth it. $71.43. It's got a, like I said, the nose is turned down a little bit, but that usually happens on some wines, especially, I'm sorry, some whiskeys, especially if they're wine cask finish. That's extra organic component that's added, and it sort of, it plays with everything inside there and sort of messes up the regular flow of a whiskey. The palate, one more. Very soft. Somewhat presence of some staunchiness. It definitely is not a pushover. It's got some good sourness to it you're getting from that Madeira. And of course you had to show up. I know you had to. You just have to. I'm surprised the cat's not up on me. Finish is, we'll get to the finish in a moment. But palate's pretty nice. I want to say the back end's got a little bit of warmth. It's about at a 2. The cheeks are probably about at a 1, surpassing a 1, but they're not going to quite push a 2. Nothing on the gums or the lips. It's a pretty mild, I won't say mild, but mild to moderate sort of warmth and feeling you got going on. Let's go ahead and do this finish. Okay, so I definitely am detecting peated. There is some peat. The tongue is definitely kicked in. It came back alive. It's pushing a 3. The heat in the back end, it's looking at the 4. I think it's going to make a run for the 4. Good on the cheeks, probably surpassing the 2. I got some on the lips, but the gums haven't showed up to the party yet. Let's see, there was something else I wanted to say. Okay, so I threw some queries into an AI and it spat out some other information, pretty much everything that's on the website. But then it also says the whiskey spends initial years in ex-bourbon barrels before undergoing a rich 26-month finishing period in the sweet Madeira casks. So there's a little bit of a difference in the numbers, but the thing about it, unless you're getting it directly from the source, you don't know when it's not telling me when that information was. Because like I said, you threw it in AI and it just spat out, regurgitated a bunch of stuff. And yeah, so I guess we're moving on. Oh, my score on this is going to be, I would say this would be a strong 4 out of 5. What keeps it down from the 5 column, you say? Well, oh man, it changed from off the rip to the full for the middle part here. So the first third of the bottle was different. But it, like I say, every time, that first third of that bottle off the rip is going to be kind of tight, going to be constricted. It was kind of confusion in the glass, but now we got down to here to the halfway point. This is where it's going to fluctuate a little bit because it is off-gassing, and it's just sort of mellowing out. And it's going to mellow out even more so once we drink it down even further to the bottom third. Sometimes you like a whiskey that evolves. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes Scotch is great from tip to tail, top to bottom, first pour to the final pour, and it never changes. It just gets a little bit weaker maybe, and that's okay too. Sometimes you get something that evolves and it throws you off. So a thing to keep in mind maybe is just go into every bottle with no expectations. Just what's ever going to happen is going to happen. My fair price on this, would probably drag it down to about $60 out the door. It is a wonderful experience. It's a very nice Highland, correct? Is it a Highland? Wait, it's over here. Sorry about that. Yes, it is a highly rated Highland single malt from the Ardnamurchan Distillery. So there's that. My fair price, like I said, I'd feel a lot better about snagging this one for $60 out the door. Would I buy this again? I'm really curious about that mezcal cask finishing, but I've never had a whiskey finished in a tequila or a mezcal. If you have a suggestion of that, go ahead and drop that in the comment section. Been thinking about that. Trying to keep it under 15 minutes, but no, it's going to be like a 15, 16 minute video, but we're done here, I think. So, yeah, Would I buy it again? I'm not sure yet. We'll have to leave that one to the final pour. Come back for that. In the meantime, in the comment section, I'd like to know where you're at. What are you currently drinking? What do you think about the Ardnamurchan Madeira cask? Or if you've had the mezcal, let's talk about that. Anywho, there it is. As always, thanks for stopping by here at Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. Have a good one.